Hi, friends. I just want to give you a little update about what's been going on here in Israel. On June 13th, the Israeli IDF identified a major threat to the state of Israel, in which they believed that the Iranian regime was close to enriching enough uranium in order to make a nuclear weapon. And so they estimated that Iran was about 2 or maybe 3 days away from enriching uranium at 90%. This is enough to create a nuclear warhead, and they have a lot of uranium that they can enrich to that level. At their nuclear facility called Fordow in the Qom area of Iran, which is deep underground, they have already reported, the UN agency has already reported that they have enriched uranium over 87%. I don't remember the exact number, but over 87%, which is all they need, just a few days, to enrich their uranium more in order to create nuclear warheads. That, together with the fact that Iran was the original organization that created Hezbollah to destroy Israel, and they support the Hamas and were the actors behind and the planners for the October 7th massacre that was supposed to be much bigger. It was originally supposed to include Hezbollah, Yemen, the Iraqi militias called the Katib Hezbollah, and others. The idea was that they would all attack together. Hamas jumped the gun, and that's why Israel actually survived this attack. But they were the ones, the architects of that plan. And so Iran has been behind this since 1979, when they took over, when the Ayatollahs took over Iran. They've been motivated due to their theology and their ideology to try to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. And so when they make threats like it only takes one missile to destroy Israel, they're talking about a nuclear missile. They've said it many times in the past. So Israel couldn't take a chance and let Iran have a nuclear weapon, so they preemptively struck Iran's nuclear facilities. They have not yet struck the Fordow nuclear site because it is 300 feet underground, and there's also potentially a risk of nuclear fallout. As a result, they're trying to negotiate, probably with the U.S., on maybe doing a joint effort or potentially using ground troops landing in the area. Nobody knows exactly. We're just speculating here. The U.S. obviously has the B-2 bombers that have these 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs that can probably do the job, but we're waiting on whoever the powers that be to make a decision about that. But other military threats have been attacked, but the Israeli home front is absorbing numerous, over 300 huge ballistic missiles fired at civilians. Now, in any military conflict, the laws of war allow a state actor to attack military targets, but not civilian targets. Israel has followed those rules and attacked military targets. However, the Iranians are only attacking civilian targets. It seems we've lost 24 civilians to these ballistic missiles hitting apartment buildings, and over 800 people have been injured so far as of this morning. And the ballistic missiles continue to rain down on our cities. In our city here, where I live in Petach Tikva, the Gates of Hope, there is a building that was damaged. The missile hit directly on a safe room. There are safe rooms in a lot of the more recent buildings, and the people inside did not survive. An older couple in their 60s, they were killed instantly when the missile hit their safe room, and 4 people died, and I think probably 250 people were evacuated from that complex. And so there's a lot going on here, a lot of running to the bomb shelters in the middle of the night for the last few days, 5 days maybe. Now, I know this is kind of late for me to let you know what's going on 5 days later. The reason being is that I was with the dedication tour, and we were touring the country until that Friday, and then that Friday morning at 3 a.m., and then I was with the group trying to help solve problems and get them to safety and watch over them and make sure that they were getting down to the safe areas, etc., until they were able to leave the country safely. They're now in Jordan, and many of them are trying to fly out of Jordan at the moment. Some have probably successfully flown out. I'm not entirely sure. My responsibility was first and foremost to that group, and now that responsibility is now in the hands of the group leaders and in Jordan, where I now have the ability to come and talk to you and make a recording and tell you what's really going on. So what does it mean for you? It means to pray. First and foremost, to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, to pray for the leaders to have wisdom, to pray for godly decisions, and for God's wisdom to be given to our leaders about how to protect our country and our nation from this existential threat. Also pray for our family and for all those doing ministry, for all the chosen people ministries, and we also go by the name Beit Sar Shalom, all of our staff here in the country, that we would not only be able to be safe, but that we would also find ways to serve and minister and meet people's needs during this time. So please pray. There are some of us that have found some ways to serve even now, and there are others that are still searching for the opportunities. And so we pray that you pray for wisdom, that we would be able to serve the Lord the best we can in this difficult time. All that being said, if you have questions, and I know many people have contacted me, and I want to thank you for your prayers and for your questions, but if you have questions, contact me, and you can reach me at jrose@chosenpeople.com. Feel free and send me an email, and see how I'm doing, see how we're all doing. We need your prayers. We need your prayers, especially at night here in Israel when the ballistic missiles are more likely to come. I just came out of the bomb shelter with my kids and my family, and my wife, and we have a guest. And so luckily nothing happened. We didn't get any reports that there was an impact, but every time we just never know whether it's going to be one rocket, two rockets, or the first few volleys were 100 ballistic missiles shot at us. So we would appreciate your prayers for safety, for not just for us, but for everyone, especially the elderly and those in need that may not be able to run to shelter in time. So thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your concern, and feel free and reach out if you want more of a personal update. God bless you.